Hello, for my presentation as well as my paper, I decided to address the topic of juveniles being tried as adults. Introduction and purpose of this paper is to be considering the accountability when considering consequences of juvenile partaking in crime. A big factor to consider within the situation is age. Juveniles are being tried as adults depending on the crime committed. I'll be addressing more the side of violent juvenile offending and sentencing. The purpose of this paper is to bring awareness of the current debate happening whether or not juveniles belong in juvenile court or adult court. Rehabilitation and sentencing options, as well as the crimes committed by juveniles that land them in adult court. Key aspects of literature found was a debate on trying juveniles as adults in general based on the crimes committed. These crimes could be considered murder, malicious wounding, rape, as well as grand larceny. Karen J. Mathis, the president of the American Bar Association, explains 7 pillars on why juveniles do not belong in adult court. Some of these pillars consist of providing programs that meet educational, treatment, health, mental, and vocational needs of the juvenile. That juveniles should be housed in institutions separate from adults until age 18. Some transfer laws that I found were automatic, judicial, and prosecutorial direct file. Automatic transfer law is when juveniles meet criteria of violent felony committing 14 years and older. This is based on the severity of the offense. Judicial law is when a juvenile court judge decides if the juvenile should be sent to court. Prosecutorial direct file law is up to the prosecution to file charges in juvenile court or circuit court. Case studies has found that mock juries have been brought together and questioned on whether or not juveniles belong in circuit court based on a certain case-by-case information that they get, as well as juvenile interviews. What did they not understand about transfer laws? If they knew about transfer laws, would they have committed the crime that they committed? These are questions that were asked the juveniles. Influential theories found: situational action theory and rational choice theory. Situational action theory considers criminal acts are a result of perception of choice guided by a person's conditions within the environment. An example of this would be learned behavior. If you grew up in a house where crime committing was present, this could be considered learned behavior in the future. Rational choice theory includes individuals' preference to the road of weighing cost benefits when committing crimes. What are they willing to pay? If I steal this laptop, what am I willing to pay for the benefit of the laptop? Am I willing to go to jail for me taking this laptop? These are considerations that have to be weighed. If the benefit will outweigh the crime, they are more likely to commit the crime. Situational is also interactions between peers. If you hang out with people who are crime committing, then the individual is more likely to commit crime as well. Methodologies found were case studies. Case study is an analysis of a single person, small group, or community finding one common theme. This could be detailed qualitative accounts to help explore and describe data and what is being analyzed. A weakness is many biases and misunderstandings. If questions are asked and a bias is intended or not intended by the question asked, an example would be the mock juries finding bias in these questions asked. Interviews. Specific information from a smaller group about certain aspects like feelings or opinions, like the juveniles being questioned. Did you know anything about transfer laws? They did not. This is good for faster results, control of what is being asked, and it's a very structured method with finding results. This could also be time consuming and have a higher chance for bias situations. Ethical concerns to consider. Everybody involved within the juvenile court system, as well as the adult court system, as well as many different careers within society, have to abide by ethical concerns. There has to be a notice of the individuals involved within the juvenile's road to being tried as an adult. This is more on the side of psychologists and psychiatrists as they analyze the juvenile on whether or not they are to be stood in adult court or juvenile court. Age is also an ethical concern. When are they considered an adult and when are they considered a juvenile? In many states, this is considered differently, as well as many jurisdictions. It pertains on age as well as crime committed. If a 14-year-old has committed murder, then based on the crime, the 14-year-old that committed murder will most likely be held up in adult court, unfortunately. Depending on the situation, it is unfortunate. Ensuring needs are met of the juvenile. Juveniles who are found to be tried in adult court, even at 16 years old, 17, this is the age of when they are still needing to be put through school. What are they going to do about high school? Are they going to graduate? Will they be put in GED programs, religious programs? If they don't know English, wherever they are, they need to have these programs that will help them build a better future for them. Regarding code of ethics, I found a Human Relations 3.04 section, Avoiding Harm, that suggests psychologists taking reasonable steps to avoiding harming their clients, patients, students, research participants, is to minimize harm where it is foreseeable and unavoidable.